Hello everyone, my name is Olajumoke Opajobi. I'm a graduate of Max-Migold Training Center. I graduated in the year 2020 and Max-Migold has been an excellent training for me. I went through this training and transitioning from an architect to a facility manager, and I totally enjoyed every bit of the training. It's so impactful. It went down to the list, to the bits of everything I need to know as a facility manager, and it has helped my career. Right now, I've gotten a job from NI facility facility that I'm currently managing as a facility manager, and I so enjoyed the training, the team. I got to know about Max-Migold in year 2020 when they put up some flyers on an e-flyer. I saw an e-flyer that talked about facility management training, and it's something I've always shown interest. I've been looking out for what I can do differently as an architect to build myself and add value to myself. Then I got to know about Max-Migold. I followed through, and I had a 2 days free training session with Max-Migold, and from there I got so much interest in building my career as a facility manager, and they have helped me. I've gone through the full training, and I'm a graduate of Max-Migold. I appreciate that, and they have been wonderful. They have added so much value to my career, and it has been an excellent walkthrough with Max-Migold. Thank you.
My name is Peter Lawal, a facility manager with Triumph Properties and Facility Management, a graduate of FMMC Batch 12, of which prior to that I was a graduate of Physics with Electronics. It's funny when you hear physics and facility management. That shows what facility management can do to you. Coming into this, when I took the course, the 3 months master craft class, which was quite intense and very eye-opening. I came into the course with the intention of learning more pending when I will be getting fully employed, because prior to the program I was still in the job market trying to get somewhere to work. So fast forward to the class, I went through a lot, and this kind of broadened my perspective to the everyday activities and everyday objects I see around me. There are opportunities, there are all these things matter, right from the fabric of the material used in painting, decorating, even right off the dust on the table, cleaning.
Hello, my name is Amaka Anasi, and before the facility management diploma, mastercraft diploma, I was working in the Lagoon School as a facility manager. I heard about the diploma and I attended the free training first because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do the diploma. So the free training convinced me that this was it. So I registered for the diploma. It has been worth my while, really. It's been very worth my while. So before the diploma, I had been working in facility management for about 5 years, and generally groping in the dark, making mistakes, learning from costly mistakes. Now with diploma, my facility management strategy has changed. It's no longer firefighting, but even that still happens occasionally because life happens. But now I know, okay, so I have different maintenance strategies for different assets that I can put in place and reach the bins before faults happen, which is the best way of practicing facility management. Then also, I know that some of my colleagues, some of my classmates in diploma have gotten promotions or pay rises, and you want to have that too. And also, through the training, I've been exposed In fact, I'm still being exposed. I contribute and I learn by being part of the alumni group. It's wonderful. There's a lot. I'm exposed to industry standards. You hear from other people who are wearing the same shoes as you're wearing. So you're not alone. It's big, that sense of community. And I want to thank Mr. Paul and the team of Max-Migold for the wonderful opportunity. And I encourage you to do the same to start the program.
My name is Rethinking Clements. I work with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I joined the Max-Migold in January 2022, and which is the diploma program. I enjoyed the program, both the field, practical. There is a practical we hold at Ikoyi. I forgot the name of the address. The plumbing practical, it was awesome and it helped me a lot to improve on at my own site. I started working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs since 2007, and from resident at Ikoyi to our training school at Badagry from 2012, and from there, since then, they tried to introduce Max-Migold to me, in which my organization see that from there I can still gain more experience to improve my career. And since when I joined in the area of asset register, I improve on it. In the area of procurement, I make sure that all our materials and everything is being kept safely. And in the area of maintaining the generator annually also, it helped me a lot. Both the cleaning of the environment, it was so awesome. Max-Migold we still continue to be great, and we enjoy Mr. Paul, Mr. Emmanuel. I can't remember all our resource people. We really enjoy them, and I pray that God Almighty will continue to help them and will continue to promote the Max-Migold. Thank you.
Mastercraft program started. I attended a training before, a free training before the Mastercraft program, and I told myself that it would make a lot of sense to do the Mastercraft program. And just my first day at the class, I learned a lot. It was like I wasn't even practicing facilities management all the time. I went home and I went home very fulfilled. And I told myself I have no regrets starting this program. Before then, I didn't have I wasn't called for this interview, but like started dropping my CV in some companies. Then I got this interview, and when I got there, the way I related with people interviewing me, they really knew that I had serious idea of what facilities management is all about. And before now, trust me, if I did that interview before the class had started, I don't think I would have gotten the job, because a lot of things that I had learned from this place, contract management, facilities management in total, what it's all about and what it entails, brought me out and made me stand out in the interview process. I was able to tell them much about contract management. I was able to tell them much about KPIs and how to supervise and all of that, and how to manage a building and how to manage facilities in the building and what to look out for. And very, 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 very impressed with my section. I'm 100% sure it was due to the few lectures, because I've not even gone too far in Mastercraft program when I went for this interview, but the few
I'm Matthew Ojonuga Friday. Actually, I'm very grateful to be part of this free training. I'm working with Asego Nigeria Limited as a maintenance and servicing engineer. Also, I'm a mechanical engineer by profession. I've been looking into opportunity to build up a career in facility management. And thank God I came across the Max-Migold online on WhatsApp, and I came to the opportunity and I came for the training. Actually, the first time of being here, and I'm attest to the fact that the training was absolutely wonderful. I learned something new, very new that I've not learned before. And Mr. Paul is a very wonderful lecturer and also a mentor to say, because what I have downloaded into for this training is worth enough to be a mentor to align with. And I believe as time goes on, I promise to get close and learn more from him, because I believe he has much to deliver. And also I want to comment on his efforts so far to make sure the training was wonderful in terms of free lunch and every other facilities and things which he has made available for everybody.
My name is Ufote Okoyeno. I heard about Max-Migold from a friend referred me, and actually I just concluded my MSc. I've not actually had another experience different from academics. But coming here today actually has opened my eyes to a lot of opportunities. It has actually made me believe there are lots of opportunities outside academics in terms of the management aspects, the HSC and more of it. And for the speaker, it was very fantastic. He got everybody wow, really made good points, and he changed the idea and thought into very effective. And referring people, I think he has actually brought out the positivity for you to want to tell people about what you have learned, which I believe you want to motivate people to come and do better.
My name is Anayo Victor Waboa. I work with Plusworld Realtors. Max-Migold has done a great job at lecturing us on facility management training, fundamentals and specific core competencies in facility management. I really love it because it's helped me improve myself better despite what I've known. And there are still new developments, still new process to the way you carry out facility management procedures in your workplace. I was opportunity to ask a lot of questions and get a lot of answers to my questions, and these questions and these answers will rather help me perform better at my work. Yes, Paul Erubami, I've known him for a while now, and he has been so good, he has been so nice. In fact, he called me up this morning, we talked about one or few things concerning facility management and my growth, and I really appreciate him for such an opportunity. Despite not paying any dime for this, yes, we received so much value. We've been here since morning, and we are still receiving, and we don't want to go home. I think this training is profitable for everyone who is ready to grow a career in facility management. Thank you very much.
The very first day in class was, my God, wow, the knowledge, everything in the class was just wow. That's what I can say. And today, I've been to different interviews, I've done very well, I've represented very well, and I've worked in one or two organizations. Currently, where I worked, I just joined them this December, and they just made me the head of facilities. Number one was that when I came, there wasn't system at all. Nothing like PPM. They always break down of service and all of that. So first thing I came, I took the stock, I do a PPM, I create an asset register. They were like, what's going on? So I created the system, all to the knowledge I gained through this institution.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hajia Zainab Saleh, and I'm the Managing Director of Brains and Hammers Facility Management Limited and White Oak Management Services Limited. Both are facilities management companies. Not too long ago, I decided to enroll my staff in a masterclass program organized by Max-Migold Limited. For some of us that are not aware, Max-Migold Limited is a physical facilities management, training, inspection, technology advisory firm. Now, I've known them for quite some time, and I chose, not too long ago, to put my staff through a training program under Max-Migold. And I can assure you that it was worth it. Why do I say that? What value has it brought to me? Or what value has it brought to my staff and to the organization generally? I can assure you there was a change. Why do I say that? Their mindset has begun to change. The way they look at attending to activities and tasks that have been given to them have changed. I even hear it in their conversations. And when you hear my staff discussing about tasks or projects that have been given to them to execute, you hear them saying, oh no, I remember in class they told me not to do this. Let's do it this way, and let's see how it's going to affect the work at the end of the day. The long and short of all what I'm trying to say to you is that if you have an opportunity to send your staff or yourself to Max-Migold, please do it, because it is worth it. And I can assure you that you will see positive changes in your staff, and which will eventually impact in your organization. Do go ahead, work with Max-Migold. You will definitely get what it is you're looking for. Have a lovely day.
We have a lot of courses actually, but I have two that are more interesting to me, like procurement management and facility maintenance strategies. Procurement management, it exposes us to so many things about procurement. The difference between procurement and purchase. All that you need to do to abide by the ethics of procurement standard, everything that you need to succeed as an FM, in procurement. And at the same time, maintenance, facility strategic maintenance is one of the main things as an FM that really, puts you at that top, that will really make people appreciate and respect you. The essence of facility, maintenance strategy, the whole essence and objective is to save costs. Is to ensure that the operations of that organization keep running. That's the whole essence of facility operation maintenance. And in those, we have a lot of processes, the strategies to apply. Like for example, we have talked about the reactive / run to fail maintenance plan. Talk about the preventive maintenance plan and the predictive maintenance plan. So as an FM, I think for it to be top notch, for it to be at top of your peak, and to be respected in your discipline, you need to understand the three modules that I just mentioned earlier. The reactive, some of what's equivalent or whatever that you are allowed to be reactive, and the kind of preventive measure you deploy in the process and everything. So for me, it has been a resourceful and expository times in Max-Migold.
Good day, everyone. My name is Ayiba Subu, and facilities manager with Landmark Africa. And before now, I used to be facility manager with my church university headquarters. I used to be facility manager traditionally before I saw the need to upgrade myself to world-class facility manager. Then I did my research and I got Max-Migold as the preferred trainer for that purpose, which I attended training for 9 months. The 9 months, 3 months was in class, and 6 months was on the field to do our project. And he saw me through to Lagos Business School, which I did my 6 month project there. Gathered a lot of experiences. I saw the value increase in me. So it saw me through to other places like real estate companies, and I worked there for a while before I came to Africa, which practically I felt it that my value increased because of the training experience with Max-Migold Limited for bringing up this training that has seen world-class facility managers emerged because of his leadership and the quality of the training.
Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Anayo Onwaboa Victor. I'm a facility manager in one of the oil and gas servicing firm in Lagos, Nigeria. I just want to tell you how my career has been ever enrolling in the FM Masterclass with Max-Migold. It's been awesome, one quantum leap to another. As in, when I started as in early last year in February or so, I couldn't wait to put everything I've learned into action. Although I've been learning FM before, but coming to Max-Migold, there's a distinctive knowledge you're going to learn about FM that if you benchmark it to the best practices in every company, you're going to be on the top. Seriously. I carried out a facility condition assessment for where I was working before in an estate I managed. I did my facility maintenance planning and record. I also went as far as doing a more advanced PPM. Apart from what they are doing, with the experience and knowledge I got from Max-Migold. In fact, right now, I don't know if there's any equipment or facility that I don't understand. Because of the tutelage I received from Max-Migold, you don't just learn from there, you also maintain relationship from there, even when you run into problems. Advices come around. But what am I trying to tell you? My career has grown. Even before I left my former place of work, my salary was increased. And early this year, I got this offer. And when negotiating, I negotiated twice of my salary. Yes, you heard me. I'm being paid twice of my former salary in my company. I am the facility manager right now. I give advice, innovative methods, and carry out issues and solve problems, all because of the knowledge I received from Max-Migold. So to improve your career in facility management and to know more and to understand more, Max-Migold Limited is the best. You will never regret ever attending or paying a figure because the knowledge is for life. Thank you.
My name is Tosi Ogunlade. I'm an architect by profession. I practiced architecture for many years, but I needed to stay back home to take care of my kids for a while. And after that, I needed to bounce back into career. And I thought of picking up what I could do to boost myself. And then I picked up the FM diploma program. I did that, and it helped me to achieve a career leap in the sense that I was able to secure a job as a facility manager to manage an aspect of the Oshodi bus terminal. And it has helped me. The program helped me to learn the essence of proactivity. It helps me to be proactive, to be able to work with my team members. Now, this is a program that is open to anybody from any field. If once you do this program, this facility management diploma program, you'll be taught, you'll be well trained, well taught how to be able to function as a facility manager. This is a program I would advise anybody to come into. I would advise you to pick up this program. You will learn from it, to be well groomed. You will learn a lot, that when you come into management, condition assessment, also to make your assets register. So please register for this program and you will not regret it. Thank you.
The classes, I just thought, the best thing is my master's admission. And after the training, I was looking for many interviews. And then the place I'm presently working, I got to know that it's sourcing for the best people to job from the beginning of the year. I went for interview. They took me and I discovered that Max-Migold actually did a training for the company. So they were actually interested in me, seeing that I'm a product of Max-Migold. But within a few months, they've been able to see the skills and strategies. So I was deployed out of managing just the head office but to oversee some other properties that were outsourced to other debtors, where I do performance evaluation for professionals and with that,
I got jumped into facility management. I also worked somewhere. I was recruited as a manager. But when I got there, the facility manager left. And they just threw the role on me. But because I had people management skills, it was a little bit easy for me. I was pushing through it, they were giving me direction, I was pushing through it. When I left, people were calling, I will notice you've left this place, everything has changed. So I thought, facility management, this is a good one, I should be able to talk. So I saw Mr. Paul's advert, I think it was on LinkedIn, and I said, look, facility manager, it can't be that bad, let me just go. When I came for the course, I discovered that I didn't really know much. I didn't know anything at all. I was just skimming through what it was. I learned a lot actually. I was barely scratching the surface before, but that course, it was really intense. It was deep. I learned so many things. As the exam, I think I passed it the first time, but Mr. Paul, when we were talking, I told him, that score is, he said it's okay, but I think you can do better. You should write this exam again. I said I'm not writing this exam. Because that first one, it was hard. So my wife told me, he said, do this thing again, and you've done it the first time, you go for it, you can write it. I was already, I said, let me do it again, I did better at that time around, so I said, okay, what is this? But now, I don't work for any company facility. I get involved in helping proposals for facility management. I tell you that they give somebody that they can trust, they need somebody that can work for it. So, yeah, it's all good. I think I've grown. Very nice to be involved, very nice to work with everybody that pushed us to be the best.
Even in energy management, I was able to reduce our diesel consumption to 30% reduction. So Max-Migold, the FMC training has really impacted me in person, and I sincerely want to thank all the facilitators, Mr. OC, Ms. Roslyn, and everyone that's anchored, people that are not, the trainers that are not here. I sincerely appreciate everyone, and I want to sincerely assure Max-Migold and Mr. Paul, everybody, that I will continue to be a good ambassador of Max-Migold. I will continue to drive the vision to the expected end that he has projected. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Michael Omole Ogudengbe. I'm with the FMMC batch 14, and this graduation is more like a dream come because a lot of things that irritate my comes to clients, to customer being able to carry proposition, sees what needs to be done strategically in a facility. So this course I recommend to everyone. It's very good. Thank you.
everyone. My name is Yadin Kalabi, a student of FMMC Max-Migold program.
Can we get started, please? Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Yoma. Please, you can go ahead with
Yes,
the lunch hour.
Okay. Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I will just my screen. Sorry, I was not expecting to stay where I am right now, but we have to do the work nonetheless. So I would let me just share my screen. What is the share screen? Share window. Sorry, I'm trying to locate. I can't see share screen here. Let's, let me try to share from my Google folder directly. Okay, so while I try to do that, we'll be looking at Rethinking FM Part 2. Okay. Sorry, let me quickly try to get access into my drive. Ella, you'd have been able to help me. Oh. It's just sad. Why can't I see share screen here? Hello, sir. Thank you, sir.
Are you able to share your screen now? So sorry, the facilitator will be joining soon.
Hello. Sorry, guys. I truly apologize. Okay, they said only host can share in this meeting. That's why I'm having difficulties sharing my screen, except to give me co-host, right?
Yes, I've given you codes and function.
Jesus.
Abamed.
Okay. We used to have share screen. Oh, did they upgrade? Did they change this thing?
No, you should be able to share your screen now, sir.
Yeah. So what the options is giving me is not even share screen. But I've seen something I can use. Not to worry. Kindly confirm when you can see my screen.
I can see your screen.
Okay, fantastic.
Oh, where's your mother?
All right. Sorry, can we please mute our background noise? Ella, help us mute the background noises. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So we are looking at Rethinking FM Services Part 2. The course objective at the end of the course, we'll be able to explore the advanced strategies for modernizing facilities management services. You need to understand how FM can drive your business value beyond operations. We'll be looking at integrating technology and data into your service delivery. We're also going to be looking at how we can enhance our user experience and ensure that the users of our workspace are satisfied. And finally, we will be looking at how to develop forward-thinking approach to sustainable and resilience in facility management practices. So I'll do a quick recap. Of for the benefit of those who were not around for the first part of this training. We looked at traditional view of FM, and on the traditional view, a lot of people see facilities management as the people that repair things when things are bad, right? That is how they see the profession, or they see us as professionals, right? Anything that is wrong, FM, anything, the thing that concerns us, the thing that doesn't concern us, everything they just call FM. We also looked at the strategic shift, how we can shift from a reactive mindset to beyond a proactive mindset to a predictive mindset. There's a difference between preventive maintenance and predictive maintenance. And hopefully, if you do not know, probably at the end of the class, you'll be able to know. Or if you still have further question, you can ask us. We also look at FM as a service business. So FM is not just the maintenance arm of any unit, right? It's a service business. We're into the business of providing services, to the different, users of our facilities. We looked at service management and what it entails. We looked at the different stakeholders and assessing their needs. For every property, there are different stakeholders. You have the owners, right? You have the developers, you have the tenants. Not all tenants are owners of units, right? So you have some residents that are not owner occupied. There are some owner occupied places, right? Some other people that form part of the stakeholders are your vendors, third party contractors. Another set of people, the finance team that provides funds for you to run your operations. All these people happen to be stakeholders, and it's important that we understand our different stakeholders and what is expected, what they expect of us, and how we can go ahead to, provide them, the right support services for them. And finally, we looked at why we must rethink how we execute FM. Today, we'll be continuing from where we stopped. We'll be looking at the FM service cycle. Sorry, I would have to change this. I think this is okay. Let me change this particular presentation. Let me use the PDF file. Look for the PDF. have this. I downloaded this PDF file. There are some of the items for this PowerPoint that is not showing, and I want to provide us with the one that can show. Sorry, give me. I really apologize for this. Right. Let me just look for, because I notice it's not displaying. I'm downloading it. Okay, so while I'm downloading it, in the FM service cycle, right? In the FM service cycle, some of the things that we'll be looking at in the FM service cycle. Just a minute. It's asking me to save the file. Okay. All right, I think we're good with the other file. Let me open share screen. Okay. Okay. I believe you can see my screen now. Okay. Can you confirm you can see my screen? Can anyone hear me, please? Okay. All right. Thank you, Faith. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we'll be looking at, like I said, we've looked at the recap. So our course outline is we'll look at the FM service cycle. We look at service strategy, service design, service catalog, sustainability and future ready FM. Cost, we'll look at, there's the difference between cost versus value. We'll look at data driven FM. We'll look at reactive versus preventive maintenance. We'll just take a deep dive into people, process, and technology, FM maturity, practical steps to rethink FM, and our closing thoughts. So we've done this already. So on the FM service cycle, we'll look at strategy, we look at the design, we look at transition, we look at delivery and continuous improvement. From the place of strategy, right? When we talk about strategy in the FM service cycle is just like before you go to war, one of the first things you are going to do is to develop a strategy. You find out what ammunitions do we have, how many people do we have that we are going to go against with. You find out what your enemies are, right? We find out what your enemies are, right?
Maybe yeah, now won't come out now. They're telling me I will push this car.
Sorry. So, like I was saying, through the FM service cycle, sorry about that. The strategic, we'll look at strategy, design, transition. So I was talking about strategy, right? I said on strategy, before you go into war, one of the first things you need to do is to review what strategies you have. What resources do you have? How are you going to execute whatever you need to do that? Once you have your strategy, move to the place of design. You design it. So many times people carry out facility management up in their head. Oh, I know how to do this. They don't put things down. They don't have a written plan. It's really important that you have your strategy, right? You move your strategy right into the place of documentation. Document your strategy. Once you're able to document your strategy, that is the design, depending on the facility that you are providing services for. Right? From your design, you transition from the place of design into actual, you know, they are transitioning from the place of design to the place of execution. Execution, you have delivery. Once you have delivered, doesn't mean that you just sit and fold your hands. You know, you need to think about continuous improvement. So what is service strategy? First is you need to understand your stakeholders' expectation. You can just type on your chat, on the chat box or the message box. If you have, if you want to, as a facility manager, what the owner of the facility expects from you, is it the same to what the occupants or residents expect from you? What do they expect from you? You can just type. If you want to speak towards the owner of the facility, you can just type, what do they expect of you as a facility manager? And for your tenants or the residents using your facility, what do they expect of you? Just type in the chat box, right, in the place of understanding stakeholders' expectation. What do you think they expect of you? Right, I'll be expecting your responses. Or you can open your mic and speak if that will be faster. I hope I'm not okay. The question again. All right. The owner of the facility, what is the expectation from you? And the users of the facility, let's say the residents or the tenants, what do they expect of you? You can just type, oh, tenants expect this, or the owner expect this, whatever you think it is, you know, based on your how you've worked so far. Let me know what. Then the finance team, what do they expect of you? Visitors using your facility, what do they expect of you? So you can just speak to any of the stakeholder and just write what you think they expect of you. Or you can speak up if you are more comfortable speaking up. Okay, I'm not sure what's okay. So I'm not sure what's happening. Maybe owners are focused on value cost. Okay. Yes, Faith. Owners are focused on value, cost, and asset performance. That is correct, right? And you know that it's different from what the users of the facility expect. Maybe your tenants. Tenants, they just want comfort. Don't stress them, right? So users care more about comfort, safety. Okay, that's correct. Thank you very much. So it's important that we understand that with the different stakeholders, absence of failure, that's correct. Thank you, Chukwuebuka, right? You find out that with the different stakeholders, when you understand them, you are able to serve them better. Now, the next thing, so you is for understand. When you are coming up with a strategy for any facility, first you need to understand the different stakeholders, list all the stakeholders out. Right? That's your facility. After listing them out, you need to understand what their expectations are for the different category of stakeholders. The next thing you do, you define each service level. So there's a service level for what the owner or the developer wants. You define what their service levels are. For the users of the facility, you need to define what their service levels are. Just like that, finance, your third-party contractors, you need a service level agreement. Once you do that, you are now going to align all these things with the FM goals. You align the FM goals with business goals. So what FM needs to do is on one hand, what the business needs to do is on one hand. So what you are supposed to do is to develop a strategy. Once you identify your stakeholders, you understand their expectation, you define the different service level, then you need to do an alignment with all these different needs with the FM goals. And when it comes to service design, how do we go about the design? So we are still looking at the different FM service cycle, right? We are on design. So for the design, there are three key aspects, right, to be able to come up with a design, right? The first one is you need to define your scope clearly. Take, for instance, if you engage a janitor, right, and you do not say that, oh, I expect you to clean so number of times, right? Clean this area minimum of 2 or 3 times. You just tell them, oh, we are calling you to clean this space. If in the afternoon you come and they come to maybe a high traffic area and the place is already messed up, and they tell you that, you know what, you said I should clean the place by so time, I clean the place, what's going to happen? You are going to get yourself into trouble. So there is need for you to clearly define the scope of work each third party contractor will be providing for you. If you are engaging an AC technician, right, they are setting SLA. Part of your SLA should be that, you know what, let's say the MD's office, we must not have cooling issues for more than it must be a definition of outcome, right? I would not have for anything more than 30 minutes, you have not met your KPI, right? So there's need for you to, in doing your service design, there's need to clearly define the scope, right? Scope of work for each of your third-party contractor, right? And which falls into, so there's the scope, there's defined SLAs and KPIs, part of which I have mentioned already. Sorry. Okay. All right. So defined SLAs and KPI, right? Your SLA is service level agreement. You need to define it, and your key performance indices. You need to understand. Sometimes people make a lot of mistakes, right? People make a lot of mistakes when they happen to. People make a lot of mistakes when they happen to just do like a blanket KPI. Sometimes, take for instance, if you want to do a service level or KPI for, let's say, your gardeners, right? You can tell them at every point in time, the grasses must not be more than, let's say, 3 millimeter high. Must not be more than 3 millimeter high. When you say it must not be more than 3 millimeter high, guess what? You have been able to clearly define that. See, for what I want to do, right? However you want to do it, I'm not telling you how many times you need to cut the grass, right? We are not bothered with that level of detail. What you are just saying is that at every point in time, right, we should not have the grass that is more than 3 millimeter high. Why that is important is it helps to set a tone. It helps to set a tone into how you are supposed to go about defining your SLAs and KPI. Then, of course, you have the aspect of cost and risk evaluation. Right? You have the aspect of cost and evaluation risk. Sorry, please, just give me a moment. Sorry, please, just give me a moment. Okay, so Thirdly, in under service design, we are looking at cost and risk evaluation, right? If you have to evaluate your cost. What is the cost of providing a particular services? What's the cost of providing a particular services? And what is the risk involved? When you identify your risk, you are able to come up with how to mitigate the risk. Do you understand? It's important for you to identify your cost and what are the different risks involved. Sorry guys. Son just had an accident, like he cut his hand. So we're just trying to see how we can mitigate the issue, please. Just give me a minute, please. Thank you. Okay. Sorry guys. All right. So like I was saying, there's need for you to evaluate the cost and the risk associated with each of the items, right? So this is an example of the service catalog, right? Okay, let me make it in landscape. The service catalog, you can just maybe take a screenshot of this. When you're doing a service catalog, one of the first things you need to do is identify the service name, right? Identify the service name. So take, for instance, we have an example here. First is service name. Under service name, you have janitorial services. Okay. Description, you have provision of janitors and assigning jobs daily to them. That is the description. The service owner, whoever the name of your client is, you put it there. The SLA. So like you have here, you have a detailed document capturing all the client's expectation and the strategy for execution. Then you include your cost drivers. Example of cost drivers for the janitorial services. You're looking at your labor. The scope of services will determine how much, right? Will determine how much you are able to right, will determine how much you are able to
go collect them. The two people I carry go outside, the two car. I carry down block down. I carry down block this space now. Eh?
Okay. Hello, can you hear me, please? Sorry. Okay. Sorry. All right. So we are looking at labor service scope, frequency of services. Wait. Okay, so we're looking at KPIs. I've talked about the KPIs. Under the KPIs, you look at your compliance, quality audit score, the response time required, in executing the services, right?
Now, manual. Small, because this pump get too pressure.
All right. So we'll be looking at our KPIs. And, okay, response time, cost per square meter. Cost per square meter is very important for you to be able to determine how to charge. Okay, and the trend of complaints. The trend of complaints is also one of the things that you can use as your KPI, right? What you can say is that if the complaint is more,
Come back. Go park that fire. No, you are parking that side.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry. All right. So let us look at people.
Put your hand a little bit this way, so that I can be able to go. Just come this way.
So be looking at people, process, and technology. People, process, and technology. So somebody asked me a question concerning place. What would you consider place to be limited to?
Wait, you are going this way.
Would you consider place to be limited to the physical space, or space can also mean virtual? Just write it on the chat group whether place is limited to physical space or it's inclusive of virtual spaces as well. It's okay. You can type it on the chat group, please. It's space, place, both physical and virtual. All right, thank you very much. Because sometimes people's mindsets, you think that facility management is just limited to a physical space, right? The place can be virtual. Take, for instance, if you can be a facility manager for a digital cloud services, and the management of everything that you need to do has very little to do with a physical place. So if you are managing a virtual space, how do you go about it? Right? I just wanted to throw that out there. So under people, right? Some of the considerations, you are looking at the skills they have, okay? You are looking at the skills they have, and you are looking at their accountability under people, right? For you to be able to identify the people that you need to work with you. One of the things, like I mentioned, you look at their skills, not just skills. There are people who are very skillful, but are not accountable. You need to understand that for you to be able to deliver services right, you need the right skills and you need people who are accountable, not people that are not accountable, but they have the right skill. They'll mess you up. In terms of processes, we are looking at SOPs. SOPs refer to your standard operation procedure. You need to standardize your operations. Many times when certain key people leave your team, guess what? Other people struggle because they are just they are they have residual knowledge, and when they leave with all their knowledge and expertise and everything. What you need to do, right? If you are not doing that, everything everybody knows how to do, how and when they do it, have it documented in a schedule, have it documented, whether you want to use an Excel sheet, you want to have it documented on a shared space or Microsoft Word, have everything documented. When they sweep, what they use in sweeping, for your internal team, the time they check, let's say if they are checking the pumping machine, the time they do their routine checks, what they do, how they go about in the event where one of the technicians are not around, something, the FM can just go to the SOP, look through it and say, oh, follow this procedure in terms of delivering these particular services. So that is one of the key things. Of course, when it comes to governance, everything that you have to do has to be in alignment with what the government has specified, right? Some people still discharge sewage tank directly into the what they call it, the gutters, right? Those are serious contraventions, and they can amount for huge sanctions, and they can even close down your facilities. So you must pay attention to the fact that when you are documenting your processes, when you are putting your processes and everything in place, right, you need to understand the government aspect of it, which is very crucial. Finally, we are looking at technology. There are many technologies that are available, right? You have the computer-aided facilities management, which is CAFIM. You have business service management. There are different types. Different people are providing, would I say, facility management solutions right now, right? Are providing facilities management solutions right now. So you can look for the kind of businesses that you are doing and look for the right technology that is required for you to be able to execute your business. Of course, reactive versus preventive maintenance and predictive.
Go back. Oh, yeah, I mean, go back very well. You have any right to go back very well. Go back. Make it set. You can go from here. You can go for I don't finish it. Leave it to start off it. Let me give you money yet. Yeah, come back. Follow money. Yes. You can they go. Look at this seat. Come back. Come. Okay.
All right. So, like I was saying, when it comes to many of us, we know reactive maintenance. Reactive maintenance simply speaks to something has already gotten bad and you have to repair it. When you allow things go bad and you want to repair, it's responsible for higher cost in the long term. Your preventive maintenance, you have planned preventive and predictive maintenance, okay? They fall under the category of preventive maintenance. Your planned maintenance is like, what time do you get to service your generator? For some generators, it's after 200 hours. Some other generators, maybe 250, depending on what the recommendation is, right? So that's what you prevent failure. So as the name suggests, preventive maintenance is the maintenance you do to prevent something from happening. That is preventive maintenance. Of course, when it comes to predictive maintenance, it's a higher level of preventive maintenance. So you don't necessarily wait right? You don't necessarily wait for it's beyond ppm. You are looking at certain data, right? You're looking at certain data to interpret if things are moving like this. Oh, when the voltage of this battery drops low, right? It speaks that it's time for you to make a replacement. So data helps you make decision. That is what predictive maintenance is. Under data-driven FM, some of the things that you must look at is your response time metrics. So if you, I'm teaching you how to interpret the data. You look at your response time metrics. Look at the numbers. Every time we call something to, let's say, the technician to fix a borehole or to repair the AC, how long does it take? How long does it take, right? Does it take a longer time? Does it take a shorter time? Yeah. Does it take a longer time? Does it take a shorter time? Right? These are some of the things that you need to consider, okay? You need to also look at your preventive maintenance compliance, right? In terms of governance, what does it come to, right? What does it come to? Okay. So you're looking at your, preventive maintenance compliance, right? Right. So you're also looking at your energy consumption trend. It's important that you monitor what your consumption is on a weekly, daily, monthly basis. You are putting on your gen, you need to look at how many hours, right? You need to have the data. Those data are really important to be able to make informed decisions, right? Minimum number of period that you can use to look at the data, you're looking at 3 months, right? But the more data you have, the more you can make good plans and predict, you can also use that for your budgeting. Because once you have 1 year, 2 years of data, right, you can use that in terms of your budgeting. Of course, you have, when it comes to budgeting, you have the linear budgeting and the zero-based budgeting. So whichever you want to use, this data is important for you to be able to work on that. Then your user satisfaction scores. It's important that you must always, you must work towards having a robust feedback system. When people have robust feedback system, what that does is it helps them to understand how effective they are doing. What are people saying? The people using the facilities, the people that are direct beneficiary of the services you provide, what are they saying? Are they happy? Are they not happy? Once you have this data, you are able to make informed decision. If they are always complaining about the plumbing service is not good, or the electrical stuff is not good, they fix this so many times, and all this data you can use to know whether you want to retain a hand or you want to replace somebody, one of the technicians that is doing a particular job. Okay. So let's look at FM as risk management. Under FM as risk management, we have 4 modules that we are going to be looking at, right? Safety, risk, mitigations. There are certain risks that you cannot avoid. The best you can do is to mitigate the risk. And it's important for you to understand what are the risks that we can mitigate. What are the safety ways we can use to mitigate the risk? There are some risks that you can prevent. Not all risks, you can't prevent all risk, right? And some people, they don't do insurance. When you don't do insurance, you may just fall in the trap of just having your cost overrun. There was a facility I'm providing consulting services for, and the building, the supermarket very close to it, was gutted with fire. The people, they could not sleep. They were putting water. There are some numbers of their equipment that got damaged. So if they had their own, let's say, fire system place, or fire system, maybe the hydrant and lots of fire extinguisher, they would have been able to use that to at least even mitigate the effect of the fire from the adjoining building. So it's important that there are certain things, think about it and find out. You can use AI to find out what are the associated risks with doing this particular stuff. Once you understand that, then you know the actions that you're going to take. Operational downtime control. Downtimes will definitely happen. Sometimes there are certain systems you need to shut down completely for you to be able to carry out some maintenance. That's why you have redundancy. When you have some facilities that you have redundant, let's say your backup submersible pumps, right? When there's a downtime, you just find out that you use less than 30 minutes to be able to replace maybe the borehole because you have it on ground. But if you do not have redundancy, you find out that your operational downtime would be very, very long. Okay, we are looking at compliance assurance. We've talked about that when it comes to governance, compliance, right? How compliant are you with, the regulations, government regulations, health and safety regulations, and the likes? It's very important that we put that into play. Then for reputational protection, there are certain things that would impact your business. It would impact it significantly. So you need to also watch out for the reputation of the company that you are providing services for and also the business that you are supporting. So under cost versus value, we have total cost of ownership, TCO. The total cost of ownership is beyond the amount that you use in purchasing a particular infrastructure or a machine. Take, for instance, if you say, what is your total cost of ownership for a generator? It's not the cost of buying the generator. Total cost of ownership is much more than that. Everything that is required for you, the buying, delivery to site, installation, running it for the duration, for the lifetime, right, is your total cost of owning that particular infrastructure or machine or whatever it is, right? So that is the concept about total cost of ownership. So you need to understand when you are going to purchase, let's say, any item, try to identify what the total cost of ownership is. Once you are able to identify what the total cost of ownership, you are able to plan some of the maintenance that may be associated with it. It's also important that we balance cost and risk performance. We've mentioned, that what are the associated, because there are certain things that insurance will just help you. Paying a premium for it on a yearly basis may just help you out in case of an emergency or in case of, there is an unwanted incident that may have happened. Maybe your generator catches fire, and if you have insured your generator, guess what? The insurance company will just pay for it, but you have to be paying for a premium on a regular basis. So you need to understand what those cost elements are. Then under cost versus value, you need to look at long-term value creation. Sometimes people do a lot of reactive maintenance just to resolve the issue on hand. On the long term, reactive maintenance, you will spend a lot of money when you go with a reactive mindset. Wait for something to break down before you repair or replace, right? On the long term, you would spend so much. So you need to think about, how do I create long-term value creation? Okay, we are looking at sustainability and future-ready FM. Under sustainability and future-ready FM, you are looking at your energy efficiency initiatives. What are your energy efficiency initiatives? What is the kind of the wattage of the equipment that you use in your facility? Some people would say, oh, they don't want to use energy-saving air conditioners, right? And you just find out that in maybe 2 or 3 years, your cost of bill, your electricity bill for that AC would have bought that unit completely, paid for that unit completely. So when you want to buy any equipment, check the power rating. Once you check the power rating, you'll be able to forecast the impact of that equipment into your facility. Some of you may be working closely with developers. and they say, oh, we want this light, we want this chandelier, we want this, we want that, and it has to be beautiful, it has to be this, it has to be that. Guess what? You do not pay attention to what the power consumption aspect is. You are just looking at beauty. Guess what? You may be hurting yourself. Look at your carbon footprint. Look for renewable resources, things that will reduce your carbon footprint in the environment. Take, for instance, right? Instead of using generator, there may be certain things that you can power using solar, right? There can be certain things that you can power using solar. All right. You are looking at smart and sustainable practices. Okay, and smart building integration. Some people just go. In fact, one of the feature of FM is your smart building integration. Why I say this is important? There are certain devices, there are certain switches, smart switches that you can install, right, in your building at your distribution box that would not just help you measure, that would help you manage your consumption. Okay, that will help you manage your consumption. So it's important that you look into how you can integrate. Do you understand how you can integrate smart, solution into your buildings? Okay, it's important that you look into that. For FM maturity model, level 1 is reactive. We've talked about that. If you are operating at a level 1 baseline, you are usually very reactive. Yes, you are usually very reactive. In level 2, you are looking at more control. You are able to control the activities that happen in your facility. Okay. At level 3, you are looking at proactive. How proactive are you? Right? How proactive are you in terms of carrying your services? And the level 4 is you are being strategic. Until you get to the place of strategic FM, right? Until you get to the place of strategic FM, you may not be able to consider that you are running FM in the way that you should run it. You may not be able to get the respect that facility managers should get when it comes to providing facility management services. When they are making decisions for the organization, or when they are making certain decisions, they need to have the facility managers involved, or the account managers. They need to have them involved, because when it comes to strategy, you have proven yourself to be very, very valuable. And when it comes to strategic decision making, they know that FM is not just, for repairs and maintenance, but it is very crucial towards the business, achieving the business goals and objectives. Some of the practical steps to rethinking FM is we need to develop a service catalog. I've showed you how to do that. We need to strengthen preventive programs, right? Look at how we can have more preventive maintenance, programs. And under preventive, I said there's preventive maintenance and there's predictive maintenance. We need to look at that. We need to implement structured SLA. Your structured SLA would help you, avoid certain issues, right? When you have structured SLA, it helps you avoid many issues. Okay. Then finally, improve your data reporting, right? One of my bosses used to say, if you can't count it, then it does not count. If you can't count it, then it does not count. So it's important that you are counting everything that is happening around you, right? It's very, very important, to be able to count everything that's happening around you. That is when you're looking at the data, you are able to look at how things are going, you are able to make strategic, suggestions and decision making because you are looking at the data. My closing thoughts are excellence in FM is not accidental. You have to be deliberate about it, right? You have to be really, really deliberate about it. And when it comes to rethinking FM, it has to be designed. Let it not just be something that you have in your head, right? You have to have a proper design. I've showed you an example of a service catalog. You have to design, your services, right? And finally, FM must move from the place of fixing problems, which is reactive, to enabling performance. You are enabling your business to perform, to achieve their goals and objectives. That brings me to the end of the class. I want to apologize once again for the noise and the distractions and everything. I had to pull this one, regardless of, I didn't want to cancel this. I had to pull this one to be able to deliver what we need to deliver. So I'll take comments and questions at this point. Thank you very much. Do we have questions? Do we have comments? Is there any aspect that you need clarification on so I can help with providing that? Do we have any questions? Ella? If there are no questions, I believe
Someone is raising up his hand.
Okay, please go on with your question.
Mr. Farouk.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, good afternoon. Please go on, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for a very well educated and informative. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, go on, sir. I can hear you. Please
Okay,
go
good.
on.
Thank you so much for the well-educated and informative lecture on this. Please, I need more clarification on when you're discussing about. But I came late, sir. I spent more than this as I went to pray. Then, when you're discussing about the cost and versus value, I didn't understand a total cost of ownership on it. I need more explanation on it. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. So,
Yes,
for total cost of ownership, let me look for something a bit simpler that I can use to explain it. So, take for instance, you want to buy a generator.
Okay.
If you are going to buy a generator, one of the things that you can look at is some generator in terms of the initial cost. So, okay, let me just mention this. There was one of the facilities where we wanted to buy a generator from, or we wanted to buy a generator for. We were thinking of okay, permit me, let me just mention some brand names. Yeah. We're thinking of the likes of Meccano and the likes. As at that point, the cost of purchase was cheaper compared to Denyo. The Denyo generator, in terms of actual cost of purchase, was a lot. But in terms of diesel consumption, it was reduced. In terms of maintenance, it was low. So when we are saying total cost of ownership, one of the things that you must do when you are going ahead to buy, purchasing maybe if a plant equipment and all that, you must think about the total cost, not just the cost of purchase, cost of running, cost of maintenance, replacement parts, and all that. All that would form your total cost of ownership. Is that okay?
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Very good, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, I'm okay, sir.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful, sir. Thank you so much.
So do we have any other question? Chijoke, yes.
They don't run and not doing balance now. See the working. No whether now the engine. Tonight is the reason not putting the comp. So we don't know whether now.
It seems that there's no other question.
All right. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining today's lunch hour. Let's remember that the free training will be holding on the 4th of April. Registration is still ongoing for our FMMC batch 27. And presently there's a 5% discount going on for both classes. And for the free training, we have both the virtual free training and the physical free training holding the same day on the 4th of April. Please let's try our best to come or to join online. Thank you everyone for joining today's lunch hour. Do have a wonderful day. Thank you.